So Brent, everybody's asking about e-presentment and e-statements. Can you talk a little bit about the state of e-presentment today?
Sure, you're right. It is the hot topic. It's actually been the hot topic for quite some time now, but we're finding that the momentum is really growing. The savings alone that are afforded by suppressing postage and presenting documents online is enough to make most organizations drool. But I think the second factor that more and more organizations are realizing is that online is where their customers are. It's where they're balancing their portfolios. It's where they're paying their bills. It's where they're doing their banking. It's the place where all the action is. And increasingly, paper is feeling like an old school way of communicating.
With that kind of compelling business case, we'd want 100% adoption, obviously. What's a reasonable expectation?
We have found in our practice over the years that if you do nothing more than simply invite customers online, you'll probably get about 5%. That's where things seem to settle out if you do nothing more than simply extend the invitation. But we're finding that more and more customers, in light of those kind of incentives, they're being disruptive, they're being noisy, they're incenting participation, in some cases even penalizing non-participation. And those organizations that are willing to be a little disruptive about it, they're seeing adoption rates in the 20 to 30% range. So there's a lot more to be had there if you're willing to go after it.
Is there a simple formula? How do we get there? Or is it pretty easy to do?
You know, on the one hand, it's fairly straightforward. The first step is being able to support e-presentment to begin with. It's the cost of entry. It's having the infrastructure in place to host electronic documents and to offer presentment to the customers for those. Now, a lot of organizations have that kind of infrastructure in place already. They've built it up over the years. Some are in the process of building it right now. The good news for the rest of the industry is that there are now a number of companies that have built this infrastructure and offer it up as an outsourced proposition. So step one is the infrastructure. It's there, it can be had, it's available. Step two is getting customers to say yes. And as I said before, this doesn't come for free. You gotta want it, you gotta go after it. It's about touching customers in every channel on which we access them, whether we're talking to them face-to-face, whether it's voice-to-voice, whether it's online, whether it's in print, whether it's in our sort of public space advertising. We're constantly reminding customers of the value and the benefit of going online, and again, being kind of noisy about it. The second part of making it, of getting people online is making it easy to say yes, right? So no more 6-step, click here, then there, sign this thing, mail it in. It's gotta be simple if we honestly want them to do it. And the third step, once we've got them online, is keeping them there. And the only way to keep them there is to deliver value, is to create content within an experience that is the kind of online experience that customers have come to expect in this day and age.
So how long do you imagine organizations taking to go through those 3 steps and becoming kind of the industry leader in paperless or in e-presentment?
We have a client that has gone through this entire migration from start to finish in about a 3-year time frame, and we find that's fairly typical. A lot of the work to be done is in thinking through how we're engaging customers, right? Mm-hmm. It's the infrastructure can be had. That's not the most difficult piece. The most difficult piece is wrapping our heads around a really compelling ask and a really compelling way to draw customers in. And then beyond that, it's creating that content and creating that experience that becomes very, very sticky. So 3 years is a reasonable timeline if your goal is to be in that sort of top quarter of organizations in terms of their successful online adoption.
Excellent. Thanks.